Is it on a video? Mm-hmm. Okay, hi, I'm Sara. These are my witnesses. Okay. Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you about football and how it has become such a big part of American culture. During the fall, most Americans are watching football. Stats show 2 out of 3 Americans watch NFL games, and over 48 million people watch college games. This time consists of victory parties or screaming at the TV because your favorite team lost. So let's take a second and imagine life without football. What would boys do on the weekend? No parties with favorite dips and chips? No family cookouts? What would be the entertainment? Well, I wouldn't want to imagine the answers to those questions, so let's be thankful we have football for that reason. Through scholarly sources, I found it easy to conclude that football isn't just a game, it's a culture. Football has become an American icon through culture created by the fans, the athletes, and the game itself. According to the Wall Street Journal, football represents the good, the bad, the ugly, and the violent, beautiful world we live in today. This relates back to the founding of America. The settlers used violent and brutal force as their tactics. This is related to football because violence is used every second of the game. So the question is, did this start a new culture? I think the easiest way to answer this question is that the culture was established by the settlers early on. And as time went on, they realized that you can't just beat people up for no reason, so football became the reason. Football is also a reason to celebrate together, and it brings people together for mutual admiration for one team. Another way it brings people together is fantasy football. I know I love getting together with a group of guys and making fantasy teams, especially when I win the money. The biggest event happens every February. I'm sure you guys know. It's the Super Bowl. More than 114 million people watch the Super Bowl every year. From the funny commercials to the halftime show, all eyes are glued on this day. According to a scholarly paper from Purdue University titled Popular Cultures and the Rituals of American Football, football is like war, and they refer it back to the Romans and the gladiators. Like football fans, the Romans had excitement from men committing violent acts toward each other. Football is closely related to the gladiators. Instead of killing people, they run for touchdowns trying to outscore the other opponent. From buying a ticket to entering the stadium, football becomes something ritualistic to the fan. And I think somehow sports are for that reason. It's something people can see, watch, cheer for 24/7. The experience, however, differs from the fan to the athlete. The fan sees the overall product, but it's the athlete's blood, sweat, tears, and time that they put into performing every game. As the Hall of Fame states, the health and safety of the players is always the #1 goal. Now, football has evolved from a long way. They started out wearing soft helmets with leather and thin shoulder pads also made of leather. Then was the plastic helmet introduced, and then plastic shoulder pads were introduced. Later, the face mask was introduced to protect the face, and then leg pads were last. So, with all the next question is, health concerns is for the player, but with all the negative side effects, what are the good things? What are the positive things the players get from football? It gives boys a group that they can identify with at an early age. They can make a living, they can support their families, and they can make a difference in the world. Also, it gives young men goals at an early age to strive for. The fans support the athletes, and the athletes perform for the fans. Without the other, one couldn't work. So the next big debate is college versus NFL. Which game is better? Well, of course, the college players are younger and less experienced, so more mistakes are likely to happen. That's my personal favorite. College players are paid differently. They're paid through scholarships, and they cannot accept any other money for autographs or jerseys. That all goes to NCAA. It also provides men with a good education. They might not qualify just as a student, but football allows them to have that education. And you must attend college before playing football. According to the Washington Post, A career in the NFL echoes good and bad. Bad in all the medical bills they have to pay, but good in the rich, lavish lifestyles they live from these big contracts. The average salary is $1.9 million a year, but the average career is 3.3 years. That's not a long time. Another interesting stat was 1 in 6 NFL players declares bankruptcy within 12 years of retirement because they don't know what to do with all the money. Maybe because they're spending it all on their health. The next concern is all the brain damage and back issues, and that brings you to a question, will this affect the game and the players later on? Will the NFL ever rule the game too unsafe to play? I guess we'll find out. But as everything in life, there are risks, and often the greater risks we take, the bigger the reward. So overall, football, I think, will always be embedded in American culture, because it brings people together but also creates a rivalry. It's human nature to need to be able to feel related to something more than yourself. And, football has been an icon because it connects people through the fans, provides players an opportunity, and through football, players can have a chance to make a difference in life. To me, football is not just a game, it's a way of life, for the fans and the players. And as a former athlete, I can relate to what the game teaches you. It teaches you more about yourself than you would ever know, because you're constantly pushing yourself to the limit every day. All in all, when I think of America, I think of football, simply because it represents the American dream. If you put your mind to something and you believe you can do it, anything is possible. Thanks for listening.